What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Shibui Anime Tavern, brought to you in part by Nova Circuit. I'm Jeff, and with me as usual is Jason.
Hey, how's it going?
Dude, let me be vulgar real quick, but holy shit, I love Delicious in Dungeon. It's just...
Same here.
Just a wholesome, fun show.
Yeah. One thing I don't know if you've noticed the pattern too, but I noticed every episode has it's almost like a two-parter. Like,
yes, I did.
In a weird way, like they have one thing, and then the second half of the episode's a completely different, either trouble or food that they're making. But I noticed that in this one too, and I loved it. I really did like this episode. I like the play on like haunted mansion type pictures looking at you, the eyes following you type.
Yeah,
thing.
that was fun. The living paintings and him going in them and stuff.
That was pretty cool how they started the episode. They're all like, Chill Chunk's doing his Chill Chunk things, trying to go through, picked lock, and you can just hear their stomachs growling. Yeah, they end up in this old like dining hall room with pictures, living pictures or portraits that can consume you, but you can like go into that world or whatever. So,
and you know what, you mentioning the two-part kind of thing, you're right. Like the first part was kind of about Laos going in the paintings and stuff, and then the second part focused on Chill Chunk. So it was kind of cool. We didn't get to see too much of the other characters. I mean, they were around, but this is more like their episode.
Yeah, it was and like I said, you did see the other, like Marcel doing Marcel things.
Yeah, definitely.
Basically being comic relief. But yeah, it was pretty cool, the whole painting part, like the living painting. So they were so hungry, and Laos came up with this idea that he could go inside the paintings and basically try to pull out food from these living paintings.
Yeah, right.
And at first I thought it was a dumb idea. They halt him from like, dude, that's an idiot plan. But since she's like, yeah, I don't know, I've never had to deal with this either.
Turns out it was a dumbass idea, but
it was. I mean, he got the feast, but then when he whenever he came back to like out of the portrait, it wouldn't let him take food with him. Nothing. So even when he ate the food, when he came back through, it emptied his stomach pretty much.
Yep.
But it was one thing I really liked about the episode is how each portrait intertwined with each other. It was each of them was like a timeline of like the same like situation or story.
Yeah,
like
that
you
was
see the
pretty
kid,
cool.
The prince born, the prince's father dying,
him becoming
and the prince becoming the king.
Right.
Yeah, I really liked that, and I hope because like you said earlier, that elf guy that noticed him in the painting is like, why are you here? I hope that like becomes a story in itself somewhere, because I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, it just felt like we were going to end up seeing more of that at some point, even if it's something like later on in the dungeon, something they encounter maybe, or like they see one of these people in there, because, obviously it's like a family dynasty type thing, and this is their spot, so.
Maybe it's the family that used to run the dungeon. Like, used to be a kingdom.
Very well could be. Or maybe the old mage has something to do with it. Maybe that kid is the old mage.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh.
I know we usually do those at the end of the episode.
Yeah,
theory.
But spicy.
But that was the whole first part. Basically, they find out that you can't pull through food through these portraits, and Laos is like, man, my stomach's empty. I didn't even get to keep the food. He's like, I ate a whole buffet, and the buffet looked pretty good. I would have been right there in Laos's seat, just like going down on that food.
Looked pretty good. So then they decide to take a rest. So they go in one of the rooms and kind of just camp out and everything. And Chill Chuck notices something on the way in. He notices what he thinks looks like a mimic.
Yep.
And so he's keeping watch, later that night, and is like, oh, I need some more water. Goes into the next room, and he finds one of those coin bugs on the ground, and kind of follows it into this other room where that mimic was. And he gets locked in there.
The master of finding traps gets trapped himself. Yeah.
Right. He says it's because he's too heavy carrying the water bottle, so he triggered the trap.
Mm-hmm. The area that they camped out in, it was by a fountain, so they made sure like, oh, cool, we got running water.
Yeah, we got water for sure.
Yeah. So, and then that's funny because like he gets trapped in this. He's like, well, I don't want to yell. He's like, don't worry, Marcel will notice I'm not back in time. And he's like, wait a minute. And then
like,
it pans
no,
to
she
her
won't.
like sleeping. She's like back asleep, sitting up. And then so he's in this room, and Chill Chunk, being the master like door opener. The guy can sense traps and everything. He kind of like notices the keys to push and like the little buttons to push, like the hitting buttons, all that stuff. And he knows there are traps and all that stuff. But he didn't pinpoint where the mimic was correctly.
No.
Because when he's sitting there just like, what am I going to do? It's actually on the cabinet he's sitting on.
Yep. And he finds out the hard way because he's sitting on it, and then it almost, chomps his leg off, and then he accidentally hits the trap thing behind him, and it throws spikes up, knocks the mimic all over the place, and then it starts chasing him. So he proceeds to run to the other trap and tries to, spring that trap and hit him, but...
Yeah, he's having like visions of Laos saying like, if you flip a mimic on its back, it looks so cute. And that was
which he does do. He flips it.
Yeah,
over.
He does do. I don't think it was intentional, but he does get it flipped over.
Yeah.
But also like before even any of that happens, you find out like Chill-Chunk's really bad with mimics. Like he has a bad history with mimics.
Yeah.
Like every time he encounters one, it's death. So like he's
definitely got some PTSD
pressure
from mimics.
Yeah, he does. And another weird thing, and this is about the mimics, is so I know mimics from other video games, Final Fantasy, and all that good stuff. This is not what I thought a mimic looked like.
No, like a hermit crab? No.
Right. But eventually he solves the puzzle quickly while evading this thing, and he jets out the room, and just in time that the steel door clamps down on the mimic.
Yep.
So it's trapped and it ends up dying. Another comedic part is Marcille finally comes out of the room with the group saying, I'm telling you, he's been gone for too long. She looks over and she already presumes him. She thinks he's dead. She's like, oh my God, Chill-Chunk's dead. And he's like, I'm not dead, idiot.
Yeah. Well, he was wrong, though. Like, she did actually stay awake and wait for him. So
Yeah. So good on Marcille. But then they were just like, oh shoot, you're the man for capturing this mimic for us, because Senshi and Laos were just drooling over it, and they're like, well, yeah, we can't wait to cook this. But Chill-Chunk never ate it, did he? I believe
he did. No, he did.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, he tried it, and then he acts super sad and was like, it's really good.
Laos used his tools so they can get the meat out, almost like crab meat, getting...
Which he was wholly against. He was like, don't touch my fucking tools. We also find out that he's 29 years old at this point.
Oh, yeah. So I think Laos is younger than him, because Laos is like, do I need to call you sir? And then Marcille says he's young, so I think Marcille's super old.
Yeah.
And
she's an elf. She's an elf, so
yeah.
They generally live a long time.
Then it's funny because Laos also like... smarts, like I think this was before they even cooked it, but even Laos was just like, how'd you find the mimic, whatever? And he was like, well, I saw the little bug, the treasure bug, go after it.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
Treasure bugs eat them. He's like, he's like, not the mimics don't eat the treasure bugs, because he thought the mimic was gonna eat the treasure bug, because even Chill-Chunk wanted to eat it, because he's had them before when Senshi made it. He's like, these are good. So he's like, oh no, the Laos is like, treasure bugs eat the mimics. They basically go in their treasure chest, or the chest, lay eggs, and then the eggs feed off the mimic, and then they grow to be treasure chests, and then they go on and feed off more mimics.
Chill-Chuck was not happy with that knowledge either. He was like, I wish you didn't know that.
Yeah, please God. That's pretty much the whole episode.
Yeah, overall another fun episode. Yeah, I look forward to it every week, man. Yeah, this one was really good. I enjoyed the whole thing with the living paintings and Chill-Chuck's little side story thing with the mimic. It was good. It was fun.
At times, I even forget that they're even trying to save Laos' sister.
I know.
So I'm just enjoying the good times that they're having. So it just feels like they're off on a really good, fun adventure. Something I would like to be on.
Oh, last thing I did want to mention was animation was pretty cool in this episode. The whole bit with Chill-Chuck and the mimic, like it really looked like Studio Trigger now. Like I saw it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I like.
When he had that look on his face.
Yep, and like when he was dashing away from it and stuff.
Yeah,
and he has like these. I don't know how to describe it, but it's cool looking.
But
cool,
other
man.
than that, is there anything else?
I don't think so.
Talk about this? Yeah.
Send her on home.
Yep, if you guys like this video and you want to see more, please make sure you guys subscribe and hit the thumbs up and leave a comment on what you thought of episode 6 of Delicious in Dungeon, and what do you guys think is going to happen. You know, please, we love it to be a discussion, and even we can mention the comments in the next video as well. So yeah, other than that, we'll see you guys next week for episode 7's review. So yeah, we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Later.